You can just see how in the dipped zone we can see all of this rain, but in our area we were just completely dry, and they are seeing those heavy rains in the Carolinas. Torrid heat for Tuesday. Unfortunately, that's the bad news, and unfortunately even more bad news is I don't really think we're going to see much of a cool down, but I will show you that in the 7-day forecast. We can just see that this is completely covering almost the central part of our country. Later this week, this heat will eventually be forced east, and it's going to be coming straight into the Mid-Ohio Valley, and we're going to have to be finding a way to beat the heat, staying hydrated, and definitely bring those pets into the home. So let's go ahead and take a look at our headlines. For tonight, mostly clear, low of 66 degrees. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, high of 90 degrees. And then here's the real kicker right here. Taking a look at our 7-day, we can just see that we're basically in the 90s all week. Saturday, 89, Sunday, 90, Monday, 87, but that is really not much of a relief. Like I said earlier, Elizabeth, I don't think we've seen a 7-day forecast like that with no precipitation and temperatures in the 90s basically all week long.
I'm staying inside. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Shana Steen. Coming up next, a popular diabetes drug comes under scrutiny. We'll tell you why and whether or not it will be pulled from store shelves right after the break.
When it's time to
Welcome back. Word late today from government health advisors. They are recommending the controversial diabetes drug Avandia stay on the market despite evidence of an increased risk of heart attacks. The panel said that evidence was not strong enough to warrant pulling Avandia off the market. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the story.
Everybody except one person felt that it should stay on the market, but with a significant number of caveats.
After a day-long hearing, an FDA panel voted to keep the popular diabetes drug Avandia on the market, despite finding that the drug does increase a patient's risk of heart attack. That was the conclusion in a recent New England Journal of Medicine report.
When we put them all together, put all their 42 studies together, we found a 43% higher risk of heart attack in the patients that got rosiglitazone or Avandia compared to those that got other anti-diabetes drugs.
Nissen says last summer GlaxoSmithKline proposed putting a warning label on Avandia, but the FDA didn't think it was strong enough. Despite the final vote, one of the FDA's own doctors did suggest to the panel that the drug be removed from the market.
Any drug used for the treatment of diabetes that increases the incidence or severity of coronary heart disease in patients with diabetes is unacceptable.
The panel recommended a stronger warning on Avandia, even perhaps a black box warning, but GlaxoSmithKline says it doesn't think either a warning or a precaution is necessary.
There is a very significant weight of clinical evidence there that suggests there is no increased risk of Avandia versus other commonly prescribed medicines in the market today.
The American Diabetes Association, representing millions who have taken Avandia, urged the panel not to take it off the market, while the FDA panel agreed. It urged doctors to use caution in prescribing the drug. Watchdog groups have targeted Avandia for over 3 years and have been critical of the FDA for not already putting warning labels on the drug, something European drug retailers have already done. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Coming up next in sports, the Reds were wheeling and dealing and back to work for high school football teams around the Mountain State. Jim's in next with sports.
the summer.
Welcome back. Jim Morton joins us now. Jim, they practice in the heat, the rain, the snow, but today was the heat, right?
Exactly. Now, one of these, it's always when the high school football camp opens up, you can always depend on high humidity and high hopes. Both were in abundance today as camps open up in the Mountain State. Before you can play for a championship in November, December, you have to make a down payment in July and August, and high school football teams in West Virginia started paying the price for success with the first day of preseason camp. Parkersburg High began its two-a-day drills this morning on the turf at Stadium Field. Some 80 players went through their paces on a muggy July afternoon. Big Reds, the defending champions in Class AAA ball, and have to be favored to do it again with a boatload of talent coming back from last year's championship squad. But nothing is guaranteed. If the Big Reds are going to repeat, they know they will have to earn it, and the next 3 weeks will get them prepared for their title defense. It's hard work, but it never gets old for Big Red coach Bertie Buttry.
You know, it's 30 years I've been doing this, and every first day is exciting. We're excited to be here. We're excited about our football football team. Got a lot of great expectations, you know. It's just a matter of whether we can live up to it or not.
Across town, some new faces and new attitudes were on display at Parkersburg South as they opened up their practice for the first time this season. Patriots are under the direction of new coach John Bolin. He's been busy installing his system for success on the football field. Coach Bolin's desire to succeed is contagious. The players sporting T-shirts that say we will either find a way or make one. The success of any football team rests with its players, and Coach Bolin is impressed with his group of kids.
Kids are looking good and having a lot of fun. We get a lot of young kids. A lot of new faces, and the coaching staff has worked extremely hard, so we're real happy and excited about what's going on.
Now the teams will put on the pads later on this week and have full contact next week. Tomorrow in the Ohio High School football previews, or in our football previews, we'll look at Williamstown and Parkersburg Catholic, and the Ohio High School teams will get in on the fun later on this week. Diagramming plays and winning football games was a way of life for Coach Bill Walsh, and his former players and coaches on the college and pro level are mourning his passing tonight. Walsh died from leukemia today at the age of 75. Walsh learned the ropes of coaching in the NFL as an assistant under the legendary Paul Brown. He would make a name for himself with the San Francisco 49ers in the 80s. He came up with the West Coast offense that revolutionized the way the game was played. And with quarterbacks Joe Montana and Steve Young, Walsh was able to win 3 Super Bowl titles with the Niners. He later moved on to the Niners front office, but returned to coaching on the college level at Stanford University. Walsh was twice named as the NFL Coach of the Year, and his career was capped off when he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now on to baseball, where the Cincinnati Reds are borrowing the state of West Virginia's new slogan, "Open for Business." Today, the Reds made what the first could be the first of several deals before tomorrow's trading deadline. Reds have dealt starting pitcher Kyle Walsh to the Philadelphia Phillies. In return, the Reds will get Class AA pitching prospect Matt Maloney. Walsh is an 8-year veteran, and the Reds may have been willing to part with him because he's a free agent at the end of the season. Walsh has a 6-12 record this year with an earned run average of 4.58. He's had some good outings this season, but he's been inconsistent. Phillies looking to shore up their starting pitching as they try to catch up with the New York Mets in the National League East Division race. Today's the quietest day of the baseball schedule since the All-Star break. Only 5 games on the schedule. Indians, Pirates, and Reds were all off, but there was a good matchup in the National League. The Chicago Cubs hosting the Philadelphia Phillies, a matchup of 2 teams trying to play catch-up in their divisions. Phillies have 2 men on in the 3rd inning, and Aaron Rowan's at the plate. He jumps on this Ted Lilly pitch, sends it out for a 3-run homer to center field, and the Phillies are on their way. Coming up next in the 5th inning, Tahito Iguchi comes up with the big hit himself. He gets in on the act as he drives his pitch long and gone for a solo homer. It's a 4-1 game. And that would make a winner out of Cole Hamels. He pitched 8 strong innings. His only mistake was serving up this solo shot to Terrio, and the Phillies co-opt the Cubbies by the score of 4-1. The landscape of the NFL was about to change, or should the NBA is about to change. One of the game's new superstars is getting a new address. The Associated Press is reporting that Kevin Garnett will be the newest member of the Boston Celtics. Celtics are acquiring the former MVP in a multi-layer deal involving both players and draft choices. Garnett's been a fixture on the NBA All-Star team since he entered the league. The power forward is averaging a double-double for his career. On average, he's scoring better than 20 points a game, and he's pulling down nearly 12 rebounds a game. Remember Tim Couch? He was the former superstar in training for the Cleveland Browns. We now has a new job. He's a backup quarterback with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, thank you, Jim. We'll be right back.
Mullen Motors Dodge Truck City has big news. Not only can you take advantage of the Zero Plus sales event, but you can receive $10,000 off an 07 Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab. But hurry, this deal only applies on in-stock Ram 1500 Quad Cabs. We're your Dodge authority with 2 big ways to save. $10,000 off in-stock 07 Ram 1500 Quad Cabs or the Zero Plus sales event going on right now at Mullen Motors. Stop in today or log on to MullenMotorsDodge.com.
Mullen Motors Dodge Truck City, your truck authority.
Look. If you know of good news, if you see news happening, or if you capture a local news story on your home video camera, call our newsroom at 485-NEWS. That's 485-6397.
Finally tonight, here's a story that proves a young entrepreneurial spirit can pay off. A Colorado boy trying to raise money for a medical assistance dog for his brother reached his goal. Tarhonda Thomas talked with a little businessman.
Snacks down this road.
An ear-catching advertisement.
Lemonade and snacks down this road.
To point passers-by.
Lemonade and snacks down this road. road.
To an eye-catching sale.
Oh, looks like we got some more lemonade coming.
And an impressive little boy.
I should sign people's autograph books.
12-year-old Mark Wrinkle runs this lemonade stand.
I'm so glad it didn't rain.
But his 9-year-old brother Jason is the inspiration behind it.
My brother recently was discovered that he has type 1 diabetes.
The family wants to get a medical assistance dog that can smell blood sugar levels and help give peace of mind.
Let's say Jason went low in the middle of the night and we don't have the dog. He might not wake up in the morning.
So Mark sells lemonade to help pay for his brother's very expensive dog.
$6,000.
He's getting lots of thirsty customers.
We should have a lemonade stand sound.
And publicity.
I'm going to be in the radio.
And donations.
A lot of people have checks because checks are easier to put more money on.
As they donate, lots of people ask about Mark's brother. He was at the sale but had to leave because his blood sugar levels dropped.
He's quite a trooper.
But even without his brother here, Mark's lemonade stand is a success.
You know, my guess for this stand is going to be $3,000.
And with a packed schedule,
I have to have a cell phone when I'm out here alone.
the 12-year-old has no plans to stop peddling his punch.
Bye. Thank you.
Mark raised $6,000, the total cost of the dog. And finally tonight, Shanasty's going to take one last look at your weather. Shanasty?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's really cooled off too much yet, but tonight mostly clear, low of 66 degrees. Tomorrow mostly sunny and hot, 90 degrees, and we're going to see 90s for the whole week, so definitely need to beat the heat. Stay hydrated.
Maybe we can go out and start our own lemonade stand and we can make that kind of money.
Maybe. I don't know if people would buy from us, but okay.
Thanks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
You're watching NBC, America's Late